radar a little bit.
They do.
We got a flip going up here on the starter match, and we are going to be watching Walter Glass versus Ryan DEBERG. This is B-side match. Ryan got to this match by having a forfeit. And this is the, again, 2018 Andy Mercer Memorial Classic 9-ball event. 64 players, race to 6, alternate break. Rack for your opponent with the magic rack, 9 on the spot. The rules have changed and evolved over the years. I believe it was the same way last year. They've gone from having a break box to not having a break box. They've gone from Sardo rack to regular rack to magic rack. They've gone from winter breaks to alternate breaks. They've gone from 9 on the spot to 1 on the spot. It's kind of been, Daniel and I were talking about this earlier, it's how can we keep Shane from winning?
Yeah, I was just going to say,
adjustments.
I think a lot of that has to do with SVB.
It was the same format for 20 years, and then Shane won like 4 years in a row. And
he won 5 out of 6 years, I believe.
5 out of 6, yeah. I think he won 4 and then lost.
Correct.
And then won 1, and so yeah, he's won it 5 times. And they started adjusting the rules after I think the 3rd in a row or the 3rd event that he won. They started changing the rules a little bit to, make it so that other people had a chance. But in a race to 6 on a bar table, it used to be winter breaks, and
Correct.
that was the first rule they changed was winter breaks. Say maybe if he doesn't get every break, he's not going to win every game, maybe. But he still finds a way to win matches 6-0 on alternate break. So
now the break box is actually smaller than your standard break box. Normally it's right up along the 1st and 3rd diamond.
So Paul Juarez did win that match. We're going to have Frank Moreno up for the 2nd time today. He's going to be playing Lee Brett, who had been living here for a while now. So Lee Brett is actually from Las Vegas on his card. Frank Moreno is from California.
Lee Brett is also representing for 7-ball run. I just got to throw that plug in there.
Absolutely. And we have Martin Bick and Ray Skenador. No shocker. The score is still 5-3. Paul just won that match 6-2. He just came by and said hi. Paul Go, always rooting for the locals.
He's on my Wednesday team. I like Paul.
Dave Moore won the first game against local player Stephen Baker, so score there is 1-0. Martin and Ray still 5-3. It's been another long game.
And if you guys are following along on the bracket at home, it is completely up to date at the moment. The online bracket via leaguepoolstats.com.
Thanks to Ben for keeping it updated. Nobody likes an out-of-date bracket.
That's correct. Amy and I have kind of been tag teaming this together, and I was under the assumption that she was here this morning, knowing that Ryan was here. So when I turned on the stream, I saw we were a little bit behind on the brackets.
So, Billy, I am left-handed and I do suck. So just so you know, in case anybody wants to give this left-handed player weight, feel free. That rule does not apply to everybody. Yeah, and Henry in the chat definitely agrees with us that being in shape is an advantage more than it is a disadvantage for sure. So Martin Bick has 2 balls left to finish out this marathon match. That match has now been going on for about hour and 30 minutes or so. Started at 2:05. It's now about 3:40. It's been a while.
Yeah, I believe that's the table Tommy Lips and Gary Onamura are waiting for as well.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling that that match will go much quicker than this one.
Well, and
Tommy plays with a good pace, and Gary generally does too. So
this event with the caliber of players, even if if a table gets behind, it usually catches up pretty quickly. You don't really see a table stay behind for a long time, whereas last weekend we saw a lot of matches reassigned. You won't see that as much this weekend.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that once yet this weekend.
No.
I've seen it fall a little bit behind.
Yeah.
But yesterday they did a really good job that between like 4:15 and 6:15 or 6 o'clock,
yep,
they didn't have matches scheduled to start, so it gave a window of opportunity for the brackets themselves to catch up, which worked out perfectly.
Yep.
And Martin Bick just missed a straight-in 9-ball.
Wow.
Left it in the jaws, keeps Ray in the game. It's 5-4.
Wow.
And Ray will be racking.
Yep.
Martin is just scratching his head.
So it's going to be Martin's break. He's on the hill 5-4, but he definitely had an opportunity to win that one. And Walter just missed a very routine 6-ball. So Ryan's going to have his first look at the table. And coming up next, like Ben said, we're going to have Tommy Lips and Gary Onamura on that table. And then we're also going to be having Donnie Branson and Christina Gonzalez coming up soon. And one that you guys will definitely want to tune in for, we're going to have Eric Horlifson versus Ronnie Alcano coming up within the next hour. So definitely stay tuned. We got some great matches coming.
Eric Orlifson, another 7-ball run player.
Yep. He's here. He's just probably
Oh, yeah,
staying. Yeah.
He was sitting over there in the corner a moment ago.
Yep.
Can you answer a question?
Hello?
Thank you.
Hi.
The entry fee for the Mercer is $200. And there may be, I think it might be $205. There might be a $5 green fee with that. So Ryan did miss that 6-ball. He's going to give Walter a chance at that. And now we're just going to see if he decides to break out the 8-9 with a 6 or if he tries to get the same shape that he had for that last shot to come into it off of the 7. Thanks, Vicky. Love you. Love all my players supporting me in the chat. It's awesome. This is definitely not the first year that I've commentated this event. Always a pleasure. So Walter made a great shot to break out the 7-9, or break out the 8-9. He ended up making the 8. Didn't leave himself too tough on the 7. It's definitely a tester shot, but it's makeable. 9's hanging in front of the hole. It's just a matter of deciding where he wants to play it. Dave Moore and Stephen Baker now 1-1. No score yet for Lee and Frank, but we will keep you updated.
That'll be a fast match, too. Lee's one of the, probably the fastest player in this tournament.
Who?
Lee Brett.
Yeah.
And that's saying a lot because
Well, he grew up playing snooker.
he did.
You know, that's
Snooker's not something you play typically fast, though.
no, but it's something that's real hard. So once you switch from that to something else, everything, the pockets look huge after playing snooker. So gives you a little bit more confidence.
Yep.
And Walter missed that 7, left Ryan a straight-in shot in the side. And as much as I love Ryan, is one of our local players. He tends to get a little bit nervous playing better players. So I hope he's able to put up a fight against Walter. I like both of them. They're both good guys. Walter's been around for a long, long time, contributed a lot to the game.
Walter is one of the few people I've been against in this event who has played a dead perfect match against me. I want to say 3-4 years ago. He broke and ran it was alternating break at that point as well. He broke and ran every time on his turn. I was struggling with my break unbelievably, and he got out every single time he got to the table. I believe he beat me 6-1 in about 20 minutes, and it was the most fun I've ever had getting beat. I was absolutely, totally outgunned.
Yeah.
He played the best set I've ever seen anybody play against me.
He definitely had an error there with the scratch on the 7, gave Ryan that opportunity to win the first game. So Ryan is up 1-0, and we'll see how his break is working for him. This will be his first break of the match.
Lee takes game 1 against Frank Marino. Martin and Ray are still doing battle.
I think they've shot 2 balls since that last game started.
Yeah. They're on the 3-ball. Or excuse me, no, they're on the 2-ball.
Yeah, and Ray's hooked? No.
Martin is hooked, I
Martin
believe.
is hooked, and he's going to take some time to think about it.
No.
So, I think Ryan made a 9 on the break.
Wow.
I think that's what happened because now Walter's breaking. So, yeah, Ryan is up.
He did, yeah. He made it up in the top right corner.
Yeah.
Right where Walter's left hand is.
Yep. So, 2-0. And I'm sure his heart's racing right now, being up 2-0.
That's a quick swing.
Yeah.
You know, I got to give him credit. I'm not quite the player Walter is consistently, but Ryan held it together like a champion yesterday when we played our match. He didn't show any signs of nervousness.
Oh, did you play him yesterday?
I played him first round yesterday at
Yeah?
11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And he didn't show any signs of nervousness. His hand wasn't shaking, and that was one thing I was looking for, especially when he was racking the balls.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can see people's hands shake, or if you're sitting behind them on their backstroke, you can see their backhand shake a little, which I kind of look out for because I like to know when my opponent is nervous or feeling the heat, so I can kind of.
And who won that match?
Put more heat on them. I won that match 6-3.
Okay.
But he did play very well. I did get a roll or two. I also broke in a 9, much like what he just did right here. It was just everything was kind of rolling my way yesterday, but he wasn't showing any signs of being nervous or scared, or you could have told me that he's played champions his whole life, and I'd have believed you just based on his composure. He looked great. So.
Well, I'm not scared of you either, so maybe that was it.
I'm not a scary person.
You smile too much to be scary.
Just keep me off of Facebook.
Yeah. Best apologizer in the country right here.
I was really, really good about keeping my mouth shut for about 2 years.
And then that one time.
I slipped up and I had a relapse.
Yeah.
I made it through all 12 steps. And
got to listen to that Rihanna song about checking into rehab, right?
Gosh.
So we have
or Amy Winehouse.
Oh yeah, that's another
to
good
make me go to
rehab song.
rehab,
I think I like her
no.
better than I like Rihanna. So we got Ryan shooting the 1 here. This is after Walter's break. Wow. He missed it, but
missed it great.
He left, he missed it great. He had shape on the 2 if he made it, and he hooked the crap out of Walter when he missed. So that's not an easy ball to get to.
No, there's
the
no spinning. You can't spin around the 8.
The only thing you could do is shoot away from the 2 ball with some left and try to come 2 rails, short rail, long rail, into the side of the 1 and hope you get a good hit. I mean, there's not a whole lot of options.
Yeah, he got him really good here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find an alleyway and maybe long rail, short rail. If he can
that's
slide.
what I'm seeing,
yeah,
like
if he can avoid. Well,
short
that too.
rail here, here.
I'm actually looking here. If he can avoid the 3.
That's rough though.
Yeah,
that's what he's trying to do, but that's rough.
He's gonna have to avoid the 3 and the 1, and the 7. But if he does,
he's got natural shape on the 2.
He's got a nice reward for it.
And I don't think he hit it.
I don't believe he did either.
No. So let's see what Ryan can do with ball in hand.
All right. 15 minutes later, they're on the 4 ball.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, and there could be a 4-9 carom combo, something happening over there. It didn't happen.
It rattled.
So now Ray is going to have a shot at an open table with a 9 hanging in a hole with 5 balls left. And that would make the match hill-hill. And I believe Jim Blakeman, the tournament director, is letting them know they need to pick up the pace. He got yelled at for doing that last weekend, but I think the men aren't nearly as sensitive in this event as they were in the last event. So I think they're both just going to say, yes, sir,
let's speed it up
and play faster.
I think they're both probably about done with this match anyway.
Yeah. So Ryan makes that 2, gets a nice bump on the 6, and still has a shot at the 3. 4's hanging on the side, but if you get the wrong angle on it, it's going to be tough to make. So let's see where he decides to leave himself. Is that the new Revo shaft that he's playing with?
I was just going to say, he's digging that new Revo shaft. Him and his girlfriend, Amy Kane, both just got, well, he's had that butt for a while. That's a Predator Roadline LE3.
Yeah.
I know that because that's the same cue I have. But he's loving that new Revo shaft that he's got. Amy Kane, same thing. I just played her in a little weekly tournament a week or 2 ago, and made a comment to her I couldn't help but notice.
showing Ben some of your guys' comments in the chat, and Sheepdog, you made me giggle. I like it.
Anyway, to finish my thought, Amy, same thing. Amy's loving her new cue. She got a whole new cue with a Revo shaft. Can't remember the gentleman that built the cue. That's a name I'd heard once or twice, but it's absolutely gorgeous. They're both loving them. So
I haven't played with them. I have my Carmelli with an original open shaft, and I've been playing with that for about 10 years now. And I figure don't fix what's not broken. I love playing with it. Everybody's like, oh, how many cues do you have? 1.
Just 1.
One break cue that is also a jump cue, and 1 playing cue, and I don't see the need to to buy anything else. Not that I judge anybody else that does, because I know they are beautiful and fun to look at, but I definitely got lucky with my first real nice cue that I fell in love with it, and it plays well.
You've had that for a while.
Yeah, long time. I bought it in '08, so
Oh, wow.
yeah,
I think that was the year I met
10
you.
years.
I want to say that was the year I met you.
Yeah, because that's what I played with, because the first year we met was in Reno. We met at Bar Table Championships, so.
I thought we met before that. That was 2011, and that was
Yep.
the first time I went to that. That was at the Sands.
You're welcome, guys. It's you know, I'm gonna be here watching all weekend anyways, and I've gotten good feedback from the stream before. People have asked me to come back, so I figure I will come back, hang out, and get to watch all 4 tables at once on this beautiful setup, and get to commentate for you guys in the process. So Walter's gonna make this 9-ball and get back in the game. He missed late in the first game for Ryan to go 1-0, and then Ryan came back with a 9 on the break to make it 2-0. With that win, the score is now 2-1 with Ryan on top.
We got hill action over here with Ray and Martin now.
So Ray did get out with those 5 balls, and he is going to have the hill break. Dave Moore is up 2-1 over Stephen Baker, and Lee Brett of 7-ball run and Frank Marino are also tied at 1-1.
Thanks for that plug.
Got you. All right, let's see. It's Ryan's break again. Let's see if he can repeat that 9-ball break. I'm sure he'd love to see that happen.
That's one thing I have noticed with this condensed break box, it being much smaller than a normal break box. Where you see that cue ball right now is as far left, as far right on our angle, but from the breaker's angle, that's as far left as he can place that ball legally. This is a small break box. Typically, it runs up the first diamond and then the opposing first diamond.
Yeah.
This one is actually halfway between the 2 diamonds. So you have a 1 diamond space to place that cue ball.
And the 9 on the spot.
And the 9 is on the spot. But you see what just happened right there. That 9 got kicked up table.
Yeah.
When you break head on, or when you're forced to break nearly head on, that 9 is going to get kicked into the side and get kicked up table much more often than if you were breaking off the side rail.
That cut break is just not an option.
Well, I'm not using the cut break, and I've noticed that Shane was using it a little bit. I noticed that Eric's using it. Lee's been using it. A couple of the top guys have been using it. I have found that if I make the 1, I end up leaving the cue ball stuck down table and the two's up table, or I scratch down table. Or
my right is I'll make the wing ball or make a ball in the side pocket, and then I end up with no shot on the 1. Either I have a bank, I can't see it, or it's just a horrible shot.
Rather than try to play the 1 like some of these players are and taking what you get on the cue ball, I'm kind of doing the opposite.
Yeah.
I'm controlling the cue ball very well and kind of just taking what the rack gives me.
Yeah.
And I'm breaking head on and just controlling it, popping it.
Try to leave the cue on the center
just
of the table,
try to leave it
and
in
you're
the
going to be
center,
more likely to have a shot.
If something flukes in, then we're good to go from there.
Yeah. And Ryan made a ball on the break. He made the 1. He just shot the 2. Now he's got a shot at the 3. He almost rolled too far, but he can see it. It's just a matter of punching it back out, and that's not an easy shot for him on this table. So he's going to let Walter back to the table. It's wide open. I don't think that Walter will have any problem with this out, but we'll see. It's only the 3rd game of the match. I think this is his first match of the day. He hit that beautifully, came between the 7-9 perfect angle to stop the cue ball right there for the 5 and not end up jacked up over the 8.
He's in a good spot here to get out.
That's the one thing that will kill an easy out, is getting jacked up over a ball and not being able to put the cue ball where you want it, for sure. So, again, Martin Bick and Ray Skindor Hill. There is 6 balls left on the table, so we're looking at probably another 10 minutes or so. And Dave Moore is still 2-1 over Stephen Baker. Score Lee and Frank is still 1-1.
Lee just made a great back cut in the side pocket on the 5 ball, but he ran a little too far, and he's going to probably have to kick the 7. I don't think he'll kick it aggressively. I think he'll kick safe. You can't see the layout on the screen here, but he's in a funky spot.
Yeah, and that match is on the left of your screen. When you're looking at the screen, that Lee Brett versus Frank Moreno match is on the left-hand side.
There's a delay.
Yeah. So now you can't see that match. What you're looking at now is Stephen Baker versus Dave Moore.
I'm commentating this, not this.
But it was on that screen.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, Lee must have done something. He's shooting the 9 now, so maybe he did kick that in. Look for that 9 ball, the left side of your screen, table 2. He's got a heck of a cut coming. But he's laying across it like he wants to cut it. He could bank it, but I think he likes to cut a little better. He's got about a 95-inch cue, so he should have plenty of room. I give him a hard time. Even on a bar table, he plays with that like 10-inch extension on the end of that thing.
There was an ashtray right there. Ben's already trying to drive me crazy, guys.
That's what I do.
It's not a very far drive, so.
Great bank by Walter here. Great position on the 7. He'll probably pull this back about 2 or 3 inches. Yep. And then he can park it right there, or he can opt to draw it back. I would draw it back about 2 feet. It looks like he's rolling it, so maybe he's playing the side rail and back
it's got
out.
an angle, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect shape. That'll tie the match up 2-2.
We've got 3 balls left between Ray and Martin. Martin is shooting the 6 ball.
Yep. 6, 7, 9 left. Nothing tied up, nothing too tough.
Your phone's eating mushrooms.
Yep.
I know that wasn't the mushroom, that's the star, isn't it?
Yes. Everybody always commentates on my Mario and Zelda ringtones.
Score now is 2-2 between Walter and Ryan here on our feature table. Ryan racking, Walter getting ready to break. Back on table 2, which is up at the top of your program at the moment. You'll see Martin shooting the 7 and the 9 ball being the only one remaining in a hill match that's been going on for over an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Martin.
Well, it started at 2 and it's 4, so it was about a 2-hour match.
I don't know if that was nerves or what. Martin was pretty straight on that, and he didn't even threaten the jaws. He didn't hit the point even.
Yeah, they averaged about 8 minutes a game on that match. And it's not over yet because Martin missed that 7 ball. So now Ray's going to have a chance. You can see them. It's the table diagonally across from the one that Walter and Ryan are playing on. So that's a hill match. The guy in the green shirt is Ray, and he's trying to make this 7-9 to advance to the next round and send Martin home.
Great
He made
shot.
it. He
Great
left himself
shot.
shape, and hopefully, the local guy that I've been rooting for wins.
Ray wins.
And you can hear the crowd being excited. He's definitely a local favorite.
Everybody loves Ray.
Everybody loves Ray. That was a TV show, wasn't it?
Raymond, yes.
Yeah, so now we're going to have Tommy Lips versus Gary Onamura coming up on that table.
And the bracket is now current again.
Ben's doing a great job of keeping the bracket updated. Again, you can go to leaguepoolstats.com, and if you look at the Southwest and then go to Nevada, you will see the Andy Mercer is the first tournament that pops up.
Yeah, you can search for previous and current tournaments by, what's the word I'm looking for? By geographical location, northwest, southwest, northeast.
Yep.
All that good stuff. If you click Southwest, Nevada will be a drop-down box. Click on Nevada, and I believe this is the only tournament at the moment being run in Nevada via leaguepoolstats.com. So
it is, and if you're on the Las Vegas Pool Players page, I shared the link to the stream and the link to the bracket. So if you're a member, check it out. If you're not a member, search for it. Add yourself to that group. If you ever come out to Vegas, you'll always know what's going on.
My guess is, looking at the bracket, that next up on the feature table is going to be Eric Orlofsson versus Ronnie Alcano.
That would be the right move, I think, in my opinion.
We've got Donnie and Christina also playing at the same time.
Yeah.
I think Donnie's been on a stream or two already.
Yeah.
Love Christina to death, but I think the match with Eric and Ronnie is going to be a little more
Yep.
demanding.
And Christina got to play a lot of matches last weekend.
She won by forfeit earlier today too, didn't she?
She did. Yep. Tom Sampson. Or no. Weir.
Jason.
Jason Weir.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think I called him John earlier.
So did
I
I.
meant to say
But that's
Jason.
the ice skater.
Yeah.
That's different sport.
Hey, put your phone on the charger. Looking around the room, Lee Brett is up 2-1 over Frank Moreno. Gary Onamura and Tommy Lips are just getting started. That match was held up a little bit by a previous match, but they're getting underway right now. Stephen Baker and Dave Moore.
I thought it was Andrew.
Stephen is down 2-3.
Put in a word on my behalf. Junior's here.
Jimmy Moore says hi, everybody. The legendary Jimmy Moore is in the building. Super great guy, great player. Been around a long time. His dad was a champion as well. Super, super nice man.
Here's your envelope. That's what he got his money out of there, so whatever's in there
I like it.
should be yours.
I'm just sitting here commentating, and they're coming up and handing me money.
See that?
It was a requirement.
Congrats on your win. I was watching from the
Well,
house.
I got one win so far. How about you? How'd you do? Did you play it?
I won my first match yesterday, and then I lost something.
Ben's talking to Mike Hutchison. Stopping by to say hi.
Yeah, I lost late last night to, oh my gosh, why am I drawing a blank on my own matches?
Because you've been talking about everybody else's for 2 hours.
I'm seriously forgetting who I played last night.
Ben's going to have to look at the board to see who he played.
Oh, Ronnie Allen. I don't even have to look. It just took a second. Yeah, Ronnie Allen played great. Beat me 6-1. Not a whole lot I could do in that match.
And then
Yeah.
Shane beat him this morning like 6-0.
Yeah, Shane got him.
Yep.
That's Shane. I was hoping for a rematch with Shane. It's been a few years since I've been in the box against him. And it's never been a success on my end, but can't hurt to try.
They use the same software that we have.
Yeah. As soon as I walked up here, I noticed that. That's the first thing I noticed.
So Walter won that one. It's now 2-2. It's going to be Ryan's break again. Ryan won the first break, so if it stays even, he will have the Hill break. Dave Moore is up 3-2. Geraldine's checking to see if I'm correct. Walter forgot to mark up his game, so Walter is up 3-2. Ryan's break. So Walter will have the Hill break in that match. Dave is up 3-2 over Steven. Gary and Tommy just got started, no score yet. And then you got Lee Brett and Frank Moreno. That score is 2-2. They're going game for game.
When I left my house, I left this stream on in my bedroom. And my girlfriend works nights. She was asleep. She just woke up. She said the dogs are looking around. They can hear my voice. They're trying to find me. She also says hi to you. She said to tell you hi.
Tell Sam I said hello. How you doing, Sam?
Hi, Sam.
Thanks for taking care of the puppies.
That's right. Love you.
So it looks like Ryan broke dry and broken scratched. Walter he's only got 7 balls to work with.
7, huh?
No,
I'm counting 9.
9. I was missing 2. He was blocking my view. I couldn't see all of them.
But I could.
No. He walked away.
Over there in front of the ATM.
I've been up since 8 a.m. walking at a parade. All right, give me a break.
Yeah, I heard you say that on the stream earlier.
How you doing, Jimmy?
I wish my phone was in full.
It's a lot easier to watch from here, isn't it?
We got Jimmy Moore here, folks.
Yep.
Want to say hi to anybody, Jimmy?
Don't worry, Sam. I know that kiss was for me.
I I don't know anybody.
Jimmy Moore, folks. Jimmy Moore.
Say hi to the camera.
Hi. I don't know anybody, but hi anyway.
Jimmy knows everybody.
Everybody
in
knows
the
Jimmy.
chat, I'm sure there's some people who know who Jimmy Moore is.
Yeah. I'm a legend here, but don't tell nobody.
Absolutely. We'll keep it quiet.
So this is going where? Everywhere?
Yep, this is on YouTube right now.
Oh, really?
Live on YouTube.
Cool.
And recording as well, so you'll be able to go back and watch it later. Yeah,
So you can bring it up on YouTube and watch the whole thing.
correct.
Yep. POVPOOL.
POV, yeah. I think
Yep.
it's POV, yeah.
Make sure you throw pool in at the end. Don't.
Yeah, if you just do POV.com, you're going to
You're
get
gonna whatever you
not
want,
safe
right?
for
You're
work.
gonna get naughty.
Yeah.
What's the score in Walter's match?
2-2.
Walter's up 3-2.
3-2.
3-2.
Walter forgot to mark a game prior.
Yeah, he marked it up now. Dave Moore increasing his lead. He's up 4-2 over Stephen Baker. There was a little bit of drama with Dave and Gino at the Calcutta.
That's right.
Oh, was it?
There was a little bit of drama. Dave was mad that Gino didn't see his bid right
Oh.
away. And Gino said, fine, you win it right now. Bidding's over. Give me your money.
Wow.
Yeah. So he stopped the bidding and said, I'm not putting up with that. No more bidding on that player, Dave. You got him. I think he was betting on himself.
Wow.
I think he was
I didn't
actually
hear
bidding
about
on
that.
himself. It was, Gino can get feisty if you mess with him. He's putting in work.
I wasn't here
You
for
know.
the whole Calcutta.
Yeah.
Whatever he says goes.
Yep. His bar, his rules. Walter increases that lead very quickly, 4-2. Frank won that next game. He's up 3-2 over Lee Brett. And Gary has taken his time to figure out what he wants to do with this out. He left himself pretty tough on a 2-ball. And we'll see what he decides to do there.
It's my brother playing on Jimmy
Is that really your brother? I didn't think so. I didn't think so.
I know you're looking. You hesitated on that. Wait a minute.
You had me looking too.
I know it's the same. Jimmy's giving us a hard time.
We got a gentleman named Dave Moore playing over here, and Jimmy chimed in and said that's his brother. As if Jimmy was the only person in the last world with the last name of Moore.
So this is after Walter's break. Neither of them are breaking really well. I mean, Ryan is breaking him up great and then scratching and leaving Walter an open out, and Walter's breaking dry, and then Ryan's not capitalizing on it. So we'll see how this doesn't look like an easy out. It's not an easy rack.
4-2 now there. Walter's up 4-2. Frank's up 3-2 over Lee at this point.
Yep.
Still no score between Gary and Tommy.
Nope.
Looks like Tommy's got a ball in hand with 5 balls left on the table.
Yeah, Gary tried to shoot the 2. It was a real tough. He had a back angle cut in the side, and I think he scratched in the corner.
And there's just a couple of connected dots here. I fully expect Tommy to get through this. Bueller Ferris.
Huh.
I believe that's his Facebook handle.
Yeah. So I don't know if Ryan's going to try to make this ball or play safe. He tried to, wow, look at that combo.
Wow. I don't
Yeah,
think he was going for that
I think
combo.
he was trying to play safe.
Yeah,
And he did that very well, except he did it to himself because he made that unintended combo. I hate it when I do that.
I'm looking
You
at
play
Ryan
a
and
great
he's,
safe, you put the cue ball right where you want it, and then a ball goes. It's the worst feeling.
Kinda
Your
like-
heart always sinks when that happens.
that's where you wish you could have the 8-ball rules, where you can
Mhm.
pocket a ball and play safe at the same time.
Yeah.
Not in rotation.
I played in Corporate Challenge last weekend, and the rules are it's doubles, but it's shoot till you miss doubles.
Oh, I like that.
It is male-female teams. It's slop 8-ball,
Oh, my.
take what you make on the break. It's behind the line with a scratch on the break. Some very, very odd rules, and it's a race to 3 with a 50-minute time limit.
A race to 3 with a 50-minute time limit.
And if it gets to the time limit and the score's tied, they go by who has
Ball
less
count?
balls on the table. And if it's tied, then it goes by who made the most balls in the previous games. So if the score's tied 2-2, whoever had the fewest amount of balls left on table in the 2 games that they lost would be the winner if the
Has
balls
that
on the
come
table.
into play?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. But we played 4 matches and only lost 1 game in 4 matches.
Oh,
So
nice.
we took the gold. It's very exciting.
I don't think I don't know how many champions Wells Fargo has on their payroll, but
Yeah.
I think I'd have to bet on your team in that event.
Yeah, well, and it's not just, Wells Fargo puts in one team, and then you have, City Council of Henderson and City Council of Las Vegas, NV Energy.
Oh,
You have
okay.
all
I
sorts
thought
of
it was-
companies playing against each other.
I thought it was just all Wells Fargo battling
and
it out.
I'm the only female in the company that plays pool, so it's about trying to wrangle some good guy players to play with me. And I ended up finding somebody that's never played for us before that is like an APA 4 that knew enough that nobody really had a chance. So, I mean, in shoot till you miss, you're really only as good as your worst player.
It's true.
Because you can't, as a better player, you can't put them in a shot where they can make it. They have to do it themselves. So we took direction well, played well, and we kicked some butt, so it was nice.
Good.
So Walter made that shot, broke up those balls, but now he's got a little bit of a rough shot on the 2. He could scratch off of the 7 if he hits this the wrong way, so we'll see what he does with it. And he just decided to play it safe.
I think he was more focused on the safe, but even if he
Yeah.
would have pocketed it, he
He
would
would have had a shot. And I think Ryan's probably going to jump this ball. It's close enough to the pocket. And he's not scared of a jump cue.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's probably not jumping it with that Revo.
And we do have an update on Gary and Tommy's match. Tommy Lips is up 1-0 over Gary. He took that first game. Dave is still 4-2 over Stephen Baker. And Lee Brett has now tied it up 3-3 with Frank Moreno. Frank Moreno is breaking, so he will have the hill break if it gets to that point. So how do you feel about flipping for the break when it's an alternate break format? Would you rather lag or would you rather flip if it's alternate break?
Personally, I shouldn't let out my weaknesses. This is one of them. I'll just put it like this. I've got a better chance of winning the coin toss than I do of winning a lag.
Yeah?
Yes.
You put less time into practicing the lag than you do the break?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe you should spend some time on the lag.
I should. I don't lag a whole lot, and I know,
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of factors that go into it. Not all tables are going to lag the same. Some are faster than others. Some have springier rails than others. Weather is going to play a factor.
Well, and I know my first
Plus, how often, realistically, in life have you lagged for something? Myself, less than 10, I would have to say.
A lot of tours,
Yeah?
you lag for the break. A lot of tours, you lag for the break. If I have the choice, if it's alternate break, I want to lag for the break because at least then I feel like I have a part in the control of winning or losing the break.
That's true.
When I first started playing, when I first started taking it serious, the first person that taught me, his name was James Owens. He was a local player here. He moved away a couple of years back, but he spent quite a few hours with me. And my first day on the table with him as my trainer was just the cue ball.
Yeah?
Practicing rolling the cue ball and freezing it to the end rail, and then shooting it to freeze it back to me at the end rail. And that was my first 4 hours of training playing pool, was just the cue ball and me
Wow.
shooting the cue ball.
That takes discipline.
And before that, I was shooting the cue into an empty beer bottle on the table to practice having my stroke be straight and smooth all the way through. So I spent about 30 to 45 minutes just practicing shooting the cue by itself into a beer bottle.
Wow.
And then after that, the next 4 hours was just shooting the cue ball. And that was kind of him laying the foundation for giving me a good, smooth stroke and to have good cue ball control. So very thankful that I had that lesson because it made a big difference in how quickly I improved.
I feel like I could be a lot better at this game if I had taken lessons or if I hadn't picked up bad habits at early ages.
Absolutely. Makes a big difference. They were talking about in the chat earlier that the environment that you're trained in is the environment that you end up being most successful. in because that's what you're used to. So if you start your pool career, with a training with a foundation, you build on that foundation rather than, like you said, learning bad habits that you have to unlearn.
Yeah, I tried to emulate a couple of champion players, which their styles work great for them and they look great, but it's a style that it's very hard to duplicate successfully. I'll use, and if you're watching at home, awesome. I'll use Scott Frost as an example. Scott Frost and I have very similar backstrokes. It's kind of cocky. It's like a 3-point stroke. It's very similar to Shane's as well.
Yeah.
Those guys are world-class players. I'm not, but I watched them and studied them a lot when I was growing up learning the game. So I've kind of picked up some of their habits. I don't want to call them bad habits because they work awesome for those guys, and like I said, they're world champions. But myself trying to duplicate it, it's been tough for me to get anywhere near their level on a consistent basis.
Well, and that's one of the great things about pool is there really is no right way for you to play.
Correct.
It's whatever works for you. You'll hear people say, oh, well, you don't want to have too long of a stroke, but when you look at some of the best Filipino players in the world, they have a 12, 16-inch bridge. And you'll hear people talk about, well, you shouldn't bend your front leg or you shouldn't bend your back leg, or, and you look at Allison Fisher, her front leg is dead straight, or her back leg is dead straight, and she's bent over halfway, and
that's that snooker background. Yeah.
So there really is no right way. It's whatever way works for you. For me, I have a bad back, so I stand in more of a 3-point stance rather than I bend both knees. I don't leave my back leg straight because I can't because of my knees and my back. So it's like whatever you find that works for you, as long as you make balls with it, nobody can really say anything. And every time you learn something new, you add 3 more chapters onto the back of the book that you couldn't read until you learned that shot. So it's just a never-ending game of knowledge, it's the only sport in the world that you can lose without ever participating.
Yeah.
I mean, it's talked about it for years, and I've never had anybody come up with a sport that compares in that sense. What other game do you play where you can lose without ever actually participating in the match?
Yeah, I can't think of any.
In 10 years of talking about it, I've never found anybody that can come up with something that,
I'll have to think of that one.
Yeah, think about it.
I don't know if there is another one though.
See if you can. I don't think so. Nobody's
maybe
come
the
up with
people
one yet.
Maybe the people in the chat can chime in and
in the chat, if you guys can think of any other sport, let me know. I've yet to come across somebody that has found one that has that same capability.
All right, we've got a 1-1 score with Gary Onamura and Tommy Lips.
Ryan DEBERG looking to either play a 4-9 combo or play a safe and freeze him to the back of the 9. With Ryan, you never really know. He did choose to play the safe.
Smart route there. Dave Moore is up 5-2 over Stephen Baker.
And then Frank Moreno is up 4-3 over Lee Brett.
Lee had a good match last night with Tyler Steyer.
And actually, Dave Moore just won that match. They just shook hands, so Dave Moore is victorious over Stephen Baker, knocking out another one of our locals. And
what did we say that was?
They are putting Ronnie Alcano versus Eric Horlifson on table 4.
We may have to see if we can get a camera angle option for that table.
Well, we do, as long as we have this angle here.
Need a Coke.
Yeah, if we go to camera 6, you'll be able to see those guys in the background. That should be starting shortly. We'll make sure to keep you updated on the scores, of course.
You want a drink?
Yes, same thing.
Same thing, yeah. No. Yep. It's never too early for vodka in Vegas, so, Oh, wow. Ryan shot a great shot there and ended up rolling a little bit too far. Ramil Gallego is not playing in this tournament.
Well, do you know the score of that Steve Baker-Dave Moore match? The one that just finished right here where Eric and Ronnie are going up?
I believe it was 2. I think it was 6-2. Pretty sure.
Stephen, right?
Stephen Baker, yeah.
Couldn't remember if it was 2 or 3, but I think you're right, it was 2. The online bracket is up to date. Walter with a good shot on the 8, drags the cue ball across the table. Straight shot on the 9. I assume this will put him up 5-2. Ryan's gonna need to do some work to get out of this hole.
I'm throwing that question out to the chat to see if anybody can come up with a game that is similar to pool in the sense that you can lose without participating. We'll see if the group in the chat can come up with anything.
I can't think of anything.
No, I've been thinking
I
about
can't
it
even
for
think
a
of a
long
game,
time.
let alone a sport, but even a game, a video game or anything like that. I can't think of anything that could be played and beaten
Yeah,
without
participating.
participating.
Yeah. Yep.
Sports have innings or equal opportunities. Basketball, baseball, football, nobody gets a chance to hold the ball the entire time, keep possession for the entire. That's a good question.
Andrew, if those were your suggestions, and in golf you'd have to participate to lose, and same thing with bowling, unless you're considering forfeits, and obviously we're not counting forfeits as the not participating part. So we're looking at Ryan DeBerg's break. Walter is on the hill 5-2 in this match, and Ryan just broke dry. So Walter will have first opportunity to run this out and win this match.
Yeah, bowling's got 10 frames, so if you're bowling against somebody else, you can't bowl 10 frames before your opponent bowls one, so they're going to have an opportunity.
You want to take over for a minute?
Frame for frame.
Yeah, sure. What's happening on Geraldine?
Yeah, perfect. So
I can still sit here and do it.
I'm going to take a break for a minute. Step outside, get out of the smoke for a second.
Thanks. Leave me in here.
Calvin?
We'll leave you with Daniel for a minute.
Come on, man.
I will be back.
Are these the Mucci cues?
Yeah. You may take over.
I like that. I like that back cue. All right, Walter looking at a 1-5 combination here, it looks like. If he makes it, the 1 should stay right in front of the pocket. The 8 ball should kill the cue ball. Oh, he went the other way. Okay, not a bad play. Leaves the 2 a little funky, but he's got an angle to bump it out if he wants to try and position it near the side pocket. And off to our left, Eric Jorlefson and Ronnie Ocano are underway. Eric is at the table left with a multi-rail kick shot, at least 2 rails. Still got a 4-3 score line between Lee Brett and Frank Marino.
Oh, yeah, I did. There's actually only 1 in operation.
Oh, Walter opted for the bank to hold position to shoot the 2-down table.
Okay, you'll get
And
it,
missed
right?
it. He didn't really sell out too bad. Wait, no, you did. I think you had it right.
All right, man. What's up?
What's up, Daniel Bush?
Ben, Sutherland, man.
How are you, buddy? Always a pleasure.
Dude, you know what? You know what's a real pleasure?
I can take hers too.
He's got, hold on, he's got like money things to work out here.
Thank you. I don't even know what I gave her, but it was more than
enough.
More than it was
way too
more
much.
than it cost. So
No,
thank
you know what's more than a pleasure is to see that you're living here in Las Vegas, bro.
I'm living here.
That's
here
so
now.
awesome.
I'm out of Arizona and officially a Nevada resident for almost a year now.
Wow. Like when you say official, like did you actually like go to some office and register as a resident?
I went to motor vehicles and when I first moved here, I was driving Uber and Lyft, and I couldn't do it with my Arizona plates and my Arizona license.
Of course.
So of course I had to make it all officially official.
That's
go to
so
motor
cool.
vehicles and convert everything over. And fortunately enough, I'm no longer driving Uber and Lyft. I'm blessed with an extremely awesome opportunity working for 7-Ball Run.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So it's
I met the 7-Ball Run guys when I was in Las Vegas in what was it, like October, I think, for the NAPT event at Griff's.
So you meet Sean Budd?
Sean Budd, yeah. Yeah, nice guy.
Super awesome guy.
Nice guy.
Super awesome guy. Him and his wife Jennifer, super sweet lady.
Cool. Uh-oh, look at this.
Oh.
Look at this.
And their little, I think 3-year-old son, Parker. Cute little kid.
All right, so what do we got here? We got, Ryan DEBERG and Walter Glass, 5-2.
5-2.
Holy moly.
Ronnie Alcano takes game 1 over Eric Jorlefson.
Oh, that's got to be a good match, too,
I was
man.
wondering if there was a camera angle.
There is a camera angle. Let's see. I've got the master
I think
shot.
the preview window, yeah.
And that's table 4 behind it, and that's Eric in the purple shirt. You'll see in the back of your screen right there. And he's played some sort of a billiard shot on the 8 and missed.
If you don't know who Eric is, he's from Canada. He's probably the second best player to come out of Canada aside from maybe John Mora. I guess Alex is on that mix too, but Alex is from the Philippines. But Eric was a former bonus ball player when that was going on for the Toronto team, Sharks I think it was. I could be wrong about the team name, but I know he was for Team Toronto. And he's also one of our 7-Ball Run players. He's living out here now and starting to become more known if he wasn't already. He took down the Swanee event a couple of weeks ago in California.
Yeah, that's basically you've kind of done good by his resume there. My experience with Eric was when he was doing bonus ball and I was living here. We ended up playing a tournament together at Dealer's Choice.
Okay.
And he went for like $400 in the Calcutta. I went for like 30, and we came in first and second.
Nice.
So I think I made more money than him
in the end. Yeah, that's awesome.
But at the end of the day, Eric and I, we got along famously, and
he's a great guy.
Yeah, he was a cool dude.
I was hitting some balls at the facility a couple of weeks back, and he noticed a little flaw in my backstroke.
Oh yeah.
Kind of corrected it, and it felt unnatural, and it still feels unnatural, but it's providing good results. Ended up winning like three Mercer qualifiers in a row to get put into this tournament, which was kind of cool. But Eric helped me out a lot and has helped me correct my stroke, and I know I believe he's going to be giving Amy Kane some lessons as well. So he's a super, super nice guy. He's very easy to talk to, very easy to get along with, always willing to share his knowledge and stop and talk with anybody. So you got to appreciate a world-class player who's not full of himself.
Humble.
Very humble, yes. Very nice guy. Ryan plays a little roll-up safety on the 1 ball there. Walter's got a little thinking to do, but
this is a good match for Ryan, because Walter's, he's no slouch.
He's no slouch at all. I was saying earlier about
he's somebody who, when you know you got him in the draw in the tournament, you're like, oh, okay, I got to stay on my stick for this guy because I can't miss, And Ryan probably knows that too. So we got safety battle, and look at this. He's using the 8 for cover. I think he got it.
Looks like he just barely got it, too.
Yeah, I think he did. That's kind of like a one-pocket safety shot, where you're looking for the stack,
I got a feeling Walter's played his share of one pocket.
Yeah, he has. I've seen him play a lot of one pocket. I met him when I was living here, too, at Pool Sharks. Actually, no, I think I first met him when I first streamed the Mercer.
Funny story, the first time I met Walter was 2011 at Bar Table Championships in Reno. I was out there with Bobby Emmons, and Bobby and Bo Runnigan were scheduled to play a match in like the 9-ball or the 10-ball event, first or second match. Walter came up to me and said, hey, you want to bet on your buddy? I said, yeah, I'll take Bobby for 100. And Bobby ended up beating Bo. So when Walter offered to pay up, I said, no, we can keep it going. We can bet on another match or something. You know, the week's young. So he comes up to me later in the day. I'm sweating a match, just kind of watching, and he taps me on the shoulder and says, hey, my girl from Vegas is playing Susan Williams from Arizona.
Oh, okay.
And I've known Susan a long time, and I was already up on Walter, so I figure I'll fire at it. He said, you know, do you want to bet on Susan? I said, sure. You want to bet 100 on it? Yeah. So we were basically double or nothing on that bet on that match. So I get up out of my chair and I go to the other room where the women are playing. And Walter, the sneaky, crafty man that he is, put me in a trap. The score was already 5-1 when he came and offered me the bet. Susan was down. So I couldn't help but kind of laugh and feel like I got hustled a little bit. But Susan, bless her heart, came back and won the match.
Oh, yeah.
And I was sitting at a blackjack table, and Walter comes up and taps me on the shoulder, and I look over my shoulder, and he hands me $200. And I said, what happened? He said, Susan came back and won.
Nice.
I said, you got what you deserve, trying to put me in a trap there.
Yeah.
So that was a funny story about the first time I met Walter.
Walter's a gambling man.
Never snuck past him in a match on a pool table, but I'm up on him on money, and I'll try to keep it that way.
So I don't know what he's a little apprehensive here for some reason. I think he's got the 4 next, and then the green 6. So
I think he wants to make sure he leaves this cue ball almost on the rail, so he can just draw straight back and play the 6
to the side or the corner.
Yeah, I was gonna say near the same corner. Oh no.
Oh no, he's gonna go for 3-rail shape to the side pocket.
Short side of the side, huh?
Yeah, he wants to play the short side over by the 7 ball.
Yeah, that cue ball should end up between the 6 and 7, I would imagine.
Well, the hard part of this shot is you see how the 4 ball is almost at the second diamond.
Mm-hmm. He's got to avoid that corner.
That poses a problem, yeah, because the corner pocket's real big when your object ball is below the.
From that angle too, that cue ball could track toward the lower side or side pocket to our right.
Yeah, he can end up hitting this. Yeah, he can end up hitting the long rail. Let's see how he does this here. He might rattle the cue ball. Oh, he's all right.
He hit it great. Looks like he's gonna have to play that
son of a gun.
Corner.
Look at this.
Couldn't have placed it a whole lot better. Here's your drink.
All right.
Told you, I got you the whole weekend.
I'm being laid off. Look at this. Look at Stacy Allsup, everybody. She's like,
I gotta support St. Patty's.
if that ain't St. Patty's Day spirit, I don't know
me,
what
I'm
is.
not wearing green. You pinch me, I'll punch you. Just kidding.
Should we make Ben put on the headband?
I should have.
Oh my God.
I got the tie.
If it's getting like this now, one can only guess what it's going to be like after dark.
Green headband of tape.
All right, hold on a second.
You have my green.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have your green.
Because I have a green lighter too, and that looks just like my green lighter.
You too. So Walter wins that one. I believe it was 6-2.
Yeah, Ben's doing a great job of keeping the brackets updated, so that is fantastic. Go to League Pool Stats, go to Southwest, go to Nevada, and Andy Mercer is the first one that pops up. Or you can check my link in Las Vegas Pool Players Facebook.